Hey, it's your main Squeeze D and welcome back to my channel, baby. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, thank you for being an OS and that's an original subscriber. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I hope you guys had turned on your post notifications so you can be updated each time I upload a video, because I want y'all to stay tuned for what I got. So I tried to do a little hairstyle today and I couldn't get these two curls to be the exact same, but that's okay. It's still cute. It's still cute. I'm still cute. Anyways, guys, today I'm going to dive in some series that I think is cool that you guys can binge watch, and also some movies. These are just going to be at least 10 or so, I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna give you guys a rundown of each of the series and the movies so you guys can get to watch it yourself. So the first series that I'm going to introduce is Insatiable. It actually have 2 seasons and each season has a total of 8 episodes, I think. I'm not really sure, but I really like it. Some persons are outraged by it because it gives this perception or perspective that females should only feel like they're beautiful when they're thin, and it's basically tackling fat shaming and other areas of a young person's life.
My name is Patty. High school was a nightmare.
Fatty Patty's huge.
While my classmates were out losing their virginity, I was at home stuffing another hole.
It smells like bacon.
Every day I wondered, how much more of this can I take? Then it hit me. Now what?
As I said before, the show received a huge amount of backlash when it was initially released. However, I enjoy the dark humor it has and how eventful it can be at times. It's filled with twists and turns, and it leaves you wanting more and wondering what this crazy individual is going to do. She is very revengeful, filled with rage, and she wants to bring pain and harm to the persons that have wronged her when she was fat, and she will stop at nothing I should say, to ensure that revenge is an act on those who she hates. Like, it's actually really. So the next series that I'm going to introduce you guys is The Witcher. It has only 1 season and only 8 episodes in it, but it's actually really good. Like, I really love it, guys. So it's basically a book series which was adapted into a game and then a series by Netflix. So it is about a witcher called Geralt. A mutated monster hunter struggles to find his place in a world where people often prove more wicked than beasts. So he is on this journey and quest to find himself.
I've heard tales of your kind, Witcher. You're a mutant, created by magic, roaming the continent,
We don't want your kind here.
hunting monsters for a price. I thought you'd have fangs or horns or something.
I had them filed down.
People call you a monster too. Why not kill them?
Because then I am what they say I am.
All of our choices draw our destinies closer.
If he is out there, there is still hope.
So as you guys can see, it is set in a medieval inspired time known as the continent. As I said before, it follows the journey of Geralt of Rivia and Princess Ciri, who was linked to each other by destiny. I really enjoy this graphics the series gives us. I love the storytelling techniques. The first episode might confuse you a bit, but after watching it for a while, you get the hang of it and you understand what they are trying to show you. I really enjoy the fight sequence because I am a sucker for really precise, clean fight sequence. And also, I love how it gives a lot of great lessons throughout the series. I love the CGI and how the monsters look so real and fantastic at the same time. I love how the kills are. And so guys, the other series that you guys should definitely check out is Bodyguard. It's a 2017 I think series, and it only have 8 episodes. It is really cool, and it's actually a 6-part series, not an 8-part series, and it follows the fictional character David Budd, who is a British war veteran suffering from PTSD. He is actually in charge of protecting a Home Secretary, Julia Montague. He later falls in love with her and also goes through this series of emotion because he actually suppresses the things that he's felt, the things that he's going through, and he never speaks about it. It's very sharp, it's very suspenseful, and I love the action sequence, the drama, and how intelligent he is. I actually love the series a lot, and I think you guys should give it a watch. Murder and stuff like that, you guys should definitely watch it because all of the shows that I watch, what they have in common is that they have a very good action sequence. Their fighting are clear, precise, and everything. Their graphics are amazing, and the characters are normally very handsome. Yeah. Characters are very handsome, guys, especially Henry Cavill from The Witcher. That man is delicious in many ways. So the other series that I'm going to introduce is Alias Grace. I really love this series. I love how it tackles my mind. It makes me think beyond what I would normally think, and it's actually very poetic in a sense. I love how they describe how she's feeling. I love how they give us this idea and this illusion that she might have done it or someone else has done what they're trying to figure out. It's actually a 6-part series or 6-part show, and it came out in 2017, and it is based on a 1996 novel from Margaret Atwood with the same name, Alias Grace. It tells the story of young Grace Marks, a poor Irish immigrant and domestic servant in Upper Canada, who is accused and convicted of 1,843 murders of her employer and his household. Stime Bulhan James McDermott is also convicted of the same crime. McDermott is hanged, but Grace is sentenced to life in prison, leading her to become one of the most notorious women of the period in Canada. This story is based on actually 1970s events. So it's actually, what I'm getting is that it's based on a real event, but I really love this series. I love how it plays on myth and stuff like that. I love how it's very poetic. I love how it is very I love the way it was filmed. So it's basically this girl who moves to Canada with her family. Her mother dies on the ship. before she even gets to Canada. Her father is very abusive, and she's left to take care of at least 4 siblings, and she goes away to earn money to send it back to her father to take care of the kids. However, she finds herself unaware of what really goes on in the world, and she's a little naive with how things happen, and she meets this girl named Mary Whitney, who is more experienced in the world. She knows a lot more in the world, but she's also naive as well, and she gets pregnant and so forth. I don't want to give away the movie, but it's really nice, and it tackles paranormal activity. It tackles possession, somebody possessing her body and stuff like that. So I really enjoy this series. I hope you guys give it a look, watch the trailer, and if you don't like it, then so this is actually a Netflix series. I think the other ones that I have listed before is also Netflix series. This one is called Dear Me. It was released in 2019, and it has 85% Rotten Tomatoes, or tomatoes, whatever you guys want to pronounce it, and it's an unflinching exploration of a volatile female friendships, jealousy, loyalty, and the dynamics of power in a small Midwestern town. Peering behind the all-American facade, the series dives into the cutthroat world of competitive high school cheerleading, following the fractured relationships between two best friends. Okay, bike, cool, okay, gosh. Fractured relationship between two best friends after a new coach arrives to bring their team to prominence. Part coming of age story, part small town drama, part murder mystery. Dear Me exposes these physical and psychological extremes that some young women are willing to endure to get ahead. So it's basically about this female who is very mentally, I won't say mentally unstable, I would say mentally unstable. So Palm Trees in a Snow is actually a very nice movie. I really like it. It tells a story in a period where slavery was still present. It was released in 2015. It's actually a Spain movie, but if you watch it on Netflix, you guys can most likely get it in English. But so the series explores the aspect of love. It explores the aspect of secrets that are covered up for generations by her family, things that she doesn't know about her father, that no female or no young woman wants to know. But it really tells the story in a very lovely and wonderful way. It opens your eyes up to what was going on in slavery back in Spain, or back in when the Spaniards were in rule, other than from the American perspective of slavery and what happened in only America alone. So I really enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the movie. It's over 2 hours long, but it's really spicy, has some really nice love scene, and its two lead characters are very beautiful. They are real nice. They're real nice. So the other series I want to talk about is When They See Us. It is a 4-part series, if I'm not mistaken. It explores racism and stuff that had happened in the 90s. It is actually a true series, and it exposes persons who had placed 5 young people in prison for a crime they did not commit, and they knew damn well that they didn't commit the crime. They had placed evidence and so forth, and it explores how racism still exists in America, and how it happens, and how the 5 persons' life were robbed from them because they are arrested when they were young people, like 15, 14, 16, and how long they spent in prison for a crime they did not commit, what had happened to their family, the emotional trauma that they have faced, and so forth. It's a movie that is 1 hour in length for each part. It had me in emotional distress. I wanted to fist fight every white person that I see when I watch this series. And don't be like me and be saying those things, because that's racism in itself, and I'm not subjecting myself to what they think. But it really got me heated, it got me tearing up for a little, because these kids went through a whole lot for a crime they did not commit. I think they call them the Central Five, but no, they can't call them the I don't remember what they call them, guys. But it's a really nice series. It really sad. It's depressing at times, but it really needs to resonate into your system, so you can understand that these are things that our black people are facing all around the world, in America, and we should know these events, we should know these history, so we can identify when it is taking place in 2020 itself, guys. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. What I'm basically trying to say is watch it, because it shows you and it gives you an idea what has always been happening and how it is still happening in 2020. Yes. Next series that you guys can watch is The King. It's really cool series that it's not really a series, it's a movie, but it's like 2 hours long. So yeah, so it is talking about this young guy who does not want to be the king, but his father is sick and someone needs to be placed on the throne, and he does not want his younger brother to be placed on the throne, so he takes the job. I was gonna say tooks, is that a word? Like, come on, girl. He takes the job to be the king, and he begins this war, which was manipulated, I would say, to look like a country, which is France, was trying to start a war, but it was not like that. It has a lot of things in it and hidden messages. It's just a nice gem to watch. Just watch it, guys. I don't know, I'm not good at explaining things, but yeah, watch it. So the next series I want to talk to you guys about, and if you haven't watched it as yet, you probably was living under a rock. That's okay, I'm going to lift you and elevate you out of that rock, sweetheart. And that series is Game of Thrones, that has 8 seasons, guys. Game of Thrones have 8 seasons, and each season varies in time. It can be for an hour, 40 minutes and stuff like that, but it's really good, and it has a lot of episodes that you guys can binge, and it will keep you in tune. I love how Game of Thrones was written. It was actually a book, then it adapted into a series, and they have very great actors, and I love the plots in them. I love the storyline. I love how it has very different stories and very different I don't know how to explain it, but it has different things. It has monsters, it has zombies, it has dragons. It has a lot of storylines in it that is a part for everyone in there. There's a piece of everything for everyone in that series. I love it, guys. It's just cool. It's a cool and dope show. You guys probably should definitely watch it. Like, watch this. See? Another series that you guys should definitely watch is the Shannara Chronicles. It has 2 seasons, and each season has, I think, an 8 episode for season 1 and 10 episode for season 2. It's actually really nice, and it was a book as well, and they adapted it into a series. And most of the times books that are adapted into series are actually really good, so I really think that you guys should give it a watch. If you want, you guys can watch the trailer first, and then you guys can go and watch it, because it's really nice. It talks about the releasing of monsters into a world that was broken down, and now they are rebuilding that world and stuff like that. It has really great actors in it and very handsome guys. It has very handsome guys in it, and it has a lot of nice fight sequence. It has very great graphics and very great monsters and CGIs, because girl, I ain't watching nothing that CGI is bad. Like, I don't want to see nothing that CGI is bad, which graphics is bad. I do not like watching those series. As soon as I see something that has bad graphics, I'm clicking off. Like, no, I'm not watching that with bad graphics. Are you out of your mind? Another series that has really good fight graphics, fight sequence, and very good storytelling is Into the Badland. It has 3 seasons, and I'm absolutely upset that it was cancelled after the 3rd season, because it was cancelled so Walking Dead can still be on TV, which I absolutely don't know why. Like, zombie movies are done to death. Into the Badland was a fresh burst of new ideas. It spun into a new world that I've not seen in a while. I really love Into the Badlands. It follows this fighter and this soldier. His name is Sonny, and he is absolutely one of the best fighters in the whole show. Like, don't even get me starting on Into the Badlands. It has amazing fight sequence, martial arts fight sequence. It is really good, and the characters are very developed. You get to see each stage of them growing and each stage of them unraveling from what they are trying to make it seems that they are or are not. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Anyways guys, it's really nice. I love it, and the plot is very good. The other series that you guys can give a chance is Never Have I Ever, and it only has 1 season, and it follows this Indian family that has moved to America, and they are now having a family in America. They are trying to raise a teenage daughter who is trying to get laid. As you guys, she says she's trying to get laid, she's trying to have a relationship, she's trying to shed her identity and find out who she is. And it's almost like a coming of age story, but it's very funny, and it's the first series that it's the first American Netflix series that I've seen that introduce Indian people into the light. It shows their story, and they tell the background of Indian family, their culture, their practices, and so forth. It's a very nice story. It's a very it has a lot of funny jokes, and it's very comedic and so forth, and it has a great cast, so you guys could definitely give that a watch. So another thing that I watched which I love is I Am Not Okay With This. It's actually, I feel like it's actually a spin-off from Stranger Things, but it's really nice, and it tells a story about this young girl who her father had committed suicide, and she is dealing with the emotion of that. She's also dealing with a mother who's not emotionally supportive or emotionally there, and her mom feel like she chooses her father over her even in death. And it really explores how she feels, the struggles that she's going through, and she is realizing that she's much different from other people because she has superpowers and she can do things. It shows how she explodes and how she's coping with life, and it goes down a very dark path. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really good. I'm probably gonna do a voice over to let you guys know more about it. The next series that you guys should definitely give a watch is Euphoria. It has only 1 season, and it was released in 2019, and it has over 82% Rotten Tomatoes. I really love Euphoria because it isn't the typical show that tends to mask how real life events actually unfold. It gives it to you raw, it gives it to you direct, and it lets you know how it can get in instances of using drugs and abusing drugs. It shows about abuse, mental health. It shows about many things that most shows will tone down so people don't get scared of. But I really love how raw, how direct it is, and how it talks about abuse and so forth and addiction. So the description for the show, or the description up for the show, is an American adaptation of Israelite show of the same name, Euphoria, follows the troubled life of a 17-year-old